My dear students, today we are going to discuss about balancing of chemical equation. Balancing of chemical equation depends on the law of conservation of mass. Matter cannot be created or destroyed. This means the number of atoms of each element must be the same on both sides of the equation. Steps to balance an equation. First step, count atoms. Next, add coefficients. Then verify whether the equation is balanced or not. Wait, I am going fast. So now we can discuss this by observing a example of reaction. Take magnesium and oxygen reaction. Magnesium, when burnt in presence of oxygen, it produces magnesium oxide. First, we have to write the skeletal equation. So, let us write the word equation first. Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. Next, we have to write that in the molecular forms or by using symbols or formulas. So, magnesium Mg plus oxygen O2 gives MgO. Previously, we discussed about writing of equation. The law of conservation of mass states that in a closed system, the mass of the reactants must be equal to the mass of the products for any given chemical reaction. When we went to market, we'll take vegetables or groceries by weighing that equally that the reactants mass and the products mass should be equal. It implies that atoms are neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction, but they are rearranged to form different substances. From the equation, first we have to write boxes on the reactants and products. With that, we can understand that do not change anything inside these boxes while working to balance the equation, because formulas of the reactants and products will not change after the balancing also. Now, identify the elements in the reaction and count that. For example, in this equation, Fe in LHS side 1 and RHS side 3, hydrogen 2 and in RHS side 2. Like that, count each element and write in the prescribed box. From this table, we can identify where to write coefficient, where to write a number before the reactant or product. For example, in this reaction, initially in reactants oxygen is 1, so to balance that we multiplied with 3. In products it is 3, so we are not multiplying with any number. Now the equation is balanced. To make a chemical equation more informative, the physical states of the reactants and products mentioned along with their chemical formulas. For example, G for gas, L for liquid, AQ for aqueous, S for solid. We can add delta for heating and arrow mark upwards for gas and for arrow mark downwards for perspiration. Thank you.